another kitchen. Today we're going to do a traditional North African / Middle Eastern brunch or breakfast dish called Shakshuka. So the ingredients then, I have chopped up 2 large white onions, 2 yellow bell peppers and 4 cloves of garlic. I have 950 grams of crushed tomato. You can use tinned chopped tomatoes as well. I just prefer using crushed tomatoes. I think they give it a slightly richer taste. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste or tomato puree. I'm serving 5 people with leftovers as well today, so I'm using 5 eggs, working on the basis that 1 egg per person. 300 grams of spinach. So on this little dish here I have the main flavourings and spices that we're going to use. I've got 2 jalapeños that's sliced up there. This one here is 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of rock salt or sea salt, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I have half a teaspoon of nutmeg and half a teaspoon of cumin as well. And for the garnish at the end of the dish, I've just crumbled up some Feta cheese here and a small handful of coriander that I've roughly chopped as well. And last but not least, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So first things first then, what you'll need for this is a casserole dish like this one that can be used on the hob or in the oven, or better still a skillet if you have one of those lying around your kitchen. The first move you want to make is preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius and then pop your casserole dish on the hob, turn the heat onto a high heat to get some heat going through that pan. Go straight in then with your olive oil. Okay, great, I can feel a good amount of heat coming off this pan now. So I'm going to go straight in with the onions and the peppers. And I'm just going to stir these around for about 5 minutes until the onions start to go translucent. Alright, we're just at that translucent stage now. I'm going to go in with our garlic and go in with our tomato paste and just work that in there, get that all mixed up. And once that tomato paste's stirred in there, I'm going to pop our salt in. Got a really good mix up. Okay, that salt's nicely mixed in now. There's a real good smell coming out of this kitchen already. I'm going to go in with the rest of our spices, so our cayenne pepper, turmeric, paprika, nutmeg and the jalapeños. Again, just cook all that off for a couple of minutes. You want to stir it constantly. Okay, next step, once you've had 2 minutes, reduce your heat right down. You're going to go in with your crushed or chopped tomatoes. So yeah, just bring all this sauce to a light simmer. Just leave it simmering away there for about 5 minutes. Right, brilliant. So that shakshuka mix has been simmering away on a low heat now for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to gently add our spinach. Try not to chuck it everywhere. I'm just going to really slowly and gently work that into the sauce. It'll soon wilt down with the heat. Okay, so I've just removed our shakshuka from the heat. I'm going to show you how we place our eggs in here now. So with your eggs, right, you can, if you want and you're feeling confident, you can crack them straight into the shakshuka. Generally what happens with that is sometimes they get the yolks split, sometimes they run all over the place. What we're looking to get is some nice wells full of egg in our shakshuka. So what I would recommend doing is getting a small whiskey tumbler or a glass, cracking your egg into the glass nice and gently. And that just makes it so much easier just to pour straight into our wells that we make in the shakshuka. Okay, so first things first, grab yourself a spoon and your egg that we've put into a cup. What you want to do is just make sort of a well. You're not going to get too big a hole, but just make a well as best you can with a spoon. Get as close to the shakshuka as you can with your egg. Just really gently pour it in, just like that. When you've got all your eggs in the little wells here, and we're going to place it in the oven that we preheated earlier. It wants between 8 and 12 minutes, depending on how well you want your eggs doing. Don't forget that when you take it out, the residual heat will still be cooking the eggs as well. So I'd say between 8 and 12 minutes. I prefer mine slightly underdone and allow the residual heat to finish them off. Okay, so I've just taken the shakshukas now out of the oven. Just going to really carefully plate this up. Okay, so on the top, a little sprinkling of our feta cheese. Again, the coriander, a little sprinkle, little salt, little pepper. There you have it. Traditional North African / Middle Eastern shakshuka, best served with a bit of crusty bread. Enjoy.